This is the GG33 class video for the number 7. Let's get started. People born on the 7th, 16th, 25th, or people who are 7 life paths in total. These are the geniuses in life. Genius starts with G. G is the 7th letter. Most of you are aware who Stephen Hawking is. He's regarded as the smartest man on Earth. He's born 1/8/1942. 1/8/1942 adds up to 25. 2 and 5 is 7. Now, is he the smartest man? Who knows, but he's definitely one of them. So when it comes down to it, people who are 7s tend to have an extremely high IQ level, regardless of gender, regardless of race. That's very important to understand. When it comes down to people who are 7s, there's always a yin yang involved. So while they have a very sharp mind, the body can break down. Going back to Stephen Hawking, you notice he's in a wheelchair. People who are 7s, their bodies can break down. Now, I want to make this abundantly clear so people understand where I'm coming from. If you guys know who Brock Lesnar is, take a good look at him. He's not a small man. He's a big guy. He is a 7. But even with the amount of muscle he has on his body, he constantly breaks down. So that's what I'm trying to tell you folks. It doesn't matter how big and small the 7 life path is, how muscular or not he is, the body will break down. That's why a lot of great NBA players, Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway, 7 life paths, never got to fulfill their potential because of the injury bug that hits pretty much all people with 7 energy. When it comes down to people who are 7s, they do not do very well in relationships. That's why I always tell people not to get married on the 7th, 16th, 25th, or any day that adds up to a 7. 7 is loner energy. You do not want to get married under loner energy. It just won't work. Ask Donald Trump about his first wife, who he married on the 7th. When it comes down to 7 energy, another thing you always understand about them is 7s are the teachers in life, the educators. As a matter of fact, some of my best students are 7s. It's a joy to teach 7 life paths, and one of the reasons why is a 7 just needs a few breadcrumbs in life. They'll figure the rest out themselves. They just need to be guided, a little guidance in the right way. As long as they get those little breadcrumbs, they'll figure the rest out themselves. But they do need those breadcrumbs. Without, 33s, who would teach the 7s? When it comes down to people who are 7 life paths, another thing you always understand about them is they get along best with 11s. That's why there's a store called 7-Eleven all around the world. Makes sense? The 7 and the 3 are frenemies. I want to make this clear. Frenemies. Sometimes friends, sometimes enemies. I've never seen more people get married and divorced than 7s and 3s. If you look at the vowels of 7s and 3s, they both have 2 E's. Another connection to the 11, which has 3 E's as the vowel. 7 is in a 1-4-7 triangle. It's very important to understand that in the past, in the 1900s, 1800s, 1700s, I'm willing to bet the 7 life paths were probably the poorest people on Earth. That's changed. And what changed that is technology. When it comes down to technology, people like Mark Cuban, who's a 7 life path, Larry Ellison, who's a 7 life path, they thrive. So in the technical age, people who are 7s will start becoming millionaires and billionaires, and people who are numerologists won't quite understand it. Because 8's the number of money and 28's the number of wealth. Has nothing to do with 7, right? But when it comes to the technical age, 7s will do very well, especially financially. 7 can get along with 5 as long as they give each other their space. As a matter of fact, 7 and 5 have a lot in common. After the number 5, 7 is the number that travels the most. The only difference is usually 7s travel by them damn selves. Again, number of the loner. A 7 can be in a log cabin by itself for 5 years. It'll be completely fine. Other numbers could not handle that. They might go mentally ill. Not a 7. 7s enjoy isolation. 7s have something they call me time, which is time they like to spend by them damn selves. And when it comes down to it, one of the biggest problems sevens have, it excuse me, is their inability to communicate with others. They're very, very bad at explaining their thoughts to other people. That's a 3 trait. That's why a lot of people who are sevens, who are smart people, they're just bad teachers because they don't have a good way of communicating their thoughts to their students. And that is one of the biggest problems with sevens. 7 is the most likely number to get cancer, leukemia, any sort of disease like that. How do I know this? Well, I have doctors who are my students, and they've given me enough patients' birthdays to see a connection. Not only that, I've done about 20,000 readings. So people born in the 7th, 16th, 25th keep telling me they have cancer. Well, yeah, there's a connection there. Lastly, when it comes down to the number 7, 7 is not the number of luck. The casinos like to lie to people and put 7s all over the place and tell people set lucky number 7. No, it's not lucky 7, it's lucky 3. Excuse me, but I'm not going to redo this video because of it. 7 is the number of the gamble. Gamble starts with G. G is the 7th letter. 25 cards in the deck. Again, 25 is 7. And 7 is enemies with the number 8. This has been the GG33 video for the number 7.